Happy Wednesday. Hope you guys had a great start to your week. Starting in our comfortable beginning position with our scan of the body. So, wherever you are, starting that scan from the top of the head, moving it down to the tips of the toes. As you take that scan, as always, that's without any judgment, just noticing where you're at, how you're feeling today, what's going on with your body, those points of tension, those places that feel particularly good. And then taking a couple of moments and finding that initial range of motion that will feel good. So, like I said, maybe it's seated, spinal twist, lateral stretch. Maybe it's a cat and cow, a child's pose to cobra, a downward facing dog. Maybe it's standing, a couple of deep breaths, or up overhead for some lateral stretches, or standing spinal twists, whatever feels good here. Taking these first couple of moments and just finding that range and starting off your practice on the right foot for you today. Couple of nice deep breaths here. We've got about four more. So just nice and easy, choosing one or two ranges of motion to finish that out. And two more nice deep breaths wherever you are. Then we're going to bring it to seated. So when you finish that range of motion, go ahead and make that transition onto that comfortable seated position. Take a couple moments, readjust, settle into it, find your long spine, find your good posture. Bring those shoulders nice and low away from the ears. Relax your jaw, relax the rest of the muscles in your face. Let your tongue come away from the roof of your mouth as thoughts drift in about the rest of your day or the beginning of your day or something going on earlier or later this week. Notice them. That's okay. That's going to happen. And then allow your attention to come back to you, what's going on in this moment, come back to your body, how it's feeling, and where we're at. So, taking our first three initial regular ranges of motion, let's start with the head and the neck today. So finding that nice big inhale to that long spine. With your next exhale, go ahead and drop the chin to the chest. From here, nice and easy side to side, we'll roll that right ear towards that right shoulder. A nice stretch through the left side of the neck and then down through center. Same thing other side, left ear towards the left shoulder. That nice, easy side to side. Just starting off with this initial stretch. As you do find this range of motion, trying to keep all the rest of your body kind of relaxed and in an easy seated position. So aside from those postural muscles, making sure your shoulders are relaxed, making sure that you don't have any tension through your hands or your feet. One more time in each direction here. When you finish that second direction one final time, that next exhale drops the chin to the chest. And then that inhale lifts that head back up nice and long. From here, we're going to go into those lateral stretches. So that next big inhale takes those arms out and up. We're going to pause right at the top. So when you get to the top, once again, find that nice big stretch long away from center. Maybe your hands come together and you kind of press those palms up towards the ceiling. Maybe you look up towards them. Maybe you keep the head down because that's a good shoulder stretch. Wherever you need to be again, that feels really good. And then go ahead and release those fingertips. If you did grab that opposite hand, bring that right hand down to the mat, that left arm up over top. Try and keep the chest open, so don't close it down towards the mat. But with that chest open, if you can, you're welcome to bring that elbow down or come a little bit deeper into this nice big lateral stretch. With that next inhale, we'll come through center and hit that second side. Big inhale, long spine. Exhale, second side. That left arm comes down, that right arm comes up over top. Once again, keeping that chest open. If you could bring it down to that elbow, you're welcome to. Nice. From here, go ahead and move at a pace that feels good for you. Those inhales pulling you through center, those exhales bringing you side to side. That nice, easy lateral stretch. Maybe you keep that nice long hold if that felt good. Maybe you start moving a little bit faster if that feels better. Excellent. Let's just go one more time in each direction. So as always, that third change of direction, if you need to even out, hitting that first and second side one more time each. Maybe you had to hit that second side twice. When you finish that out, we're going into our spinal twist. So as always, taking those arms up long at center when you finish that second side, you can circle them down and around, or you can come right into that first spinal twist. If you do circle them down and around, find that exhale, that inhale to your long spine, and then that exhale in that first direction. And we'll just start moving at our own pace. So as soon as you hit that first side, that next inhale can bring you through center, arms low or high. Exhale in that second direction. A couple times each way. Find that nice, easy spinal twist, side to side. As you find that spinal twist, that opposite side hand comes onto that leg, whether those legs are crossed or they're out long in front. Finding a little bit of pressure through that opposite side hand on the leg, maybe through those fingertips on the floor behind you. Let's go ahead once more in each direction. Again, if you need that third change of direction to even up, feel free to do so. When you finish that out, we're just going to come back to center, back to that nice long spine. So if you do take those arms up as you come through center, just go ahead and circle them down and around. Once again, relaxing those shoulders low away from the ears, bringing your attention back to the muscles in your face, your jaw. Let your tongue come away from the roof of your mouth. We're going to bring the soles of those feet together into our butterfly. We're going to do some hip work today. So just starting off by finding that little bit of a stretch here. If they need to be a little bit further out, a little bit looser to start, that is fabulous. And then just taking this in a way that you feel the stretch. So maybe you start to pull those feet in, maybe you press those elbows into those knees, maybe you find your long spine and hinge a little bit forward at those hips. Choosing the option that finds that good stretch for the groin, for the hip flexors, for those legs here, maybe a little bit for the lower back. Fabulous. And then we're just going to do a nice easy stretch once for each side. So if you did hinge forward at all, go ahead, bring it back to that long spine. We're going to keep that right foot in and take that left foot long. And we've just got that stretch towards those left toes. So fingertips trailing out towards the shin, the ankle, the toes, taking your first moment here to find that stretch through the back of the leg. And then if you'd like to release and relax into that stretch for a little bit more through the spine, feel free. Inhale brings us up to that long spine. The soles of those feet come back together just briefly first, and then we'll take that opposite side leg out. Same thing, just a nice easy fold here. Fingertips towards the shin, the ankles, the toes. Excellent. Let's go ahead and sit it back up. Nice long spine. All right. If you've got any final range of motion that you kind of noticed something was a little off, feel free to find it. Maybe you need an extra spinal twist. Maybe, again, you kind of found that you needed that cat and cow or that child's pose to cobra. Taking a couple of moments here to just finish that out. Find a sip of your beverage, readjust. We're going to bring it down to the floor. And like I said, we're going to do some hip work today. So when we do bring it on down, the first thing that we're going to do is bring it on to that side. So like I said, take your time. We've got about 4 breaths to get down here. When you do come down, maybe you rest that ear on your bicep. Maybe that top hand comes for a little bit of support. Maybe that doesn't feel super good, so you just plant that elbow and you've still got your long spine, so it's still in alignment, but we're right here. Maybe the hip on the floor doesn't feel super fabulous, so you take these last breath or two to find just an extra blanket or a layer of padding for underneath that hip. That's fabulous. Alrighty, making your way down here. When you do reach the floor, we're going to start with just a simple leg lift. So we're going to start with that foot, nice and even plane, pointing those toes up towards the shin. Again, you can use that top hand for a little support, but I want you to think about pulling the belly button in towards the spine, activating the core. Keep those hips stacked one right on top of the other, so don't let it waggle front to back. And then we're just going to do a nice easy lift and lower. So keeping that toe holding towards the shin, up through your range of motion with those hips stacked, and then back down. Just a few, just like that. We've got that lift and lower, and we're just warming up that hip, that glute, maybe that core a little bit here. Excellent. Fabulous, fabulous. All right, let's just change up our angle a little bit. Point that toe up. So keep it flexed towards the shin, but just point it up towards the ceiling just slightly. And then same thing, lift and lower. This may increase your range of motion a little bit, but I still want you to think about keeping that core activated, keeping those hips stacked one on top of the other. Excellent. We're going to change that angle once again. Next time you bring that foot down, we're going to point the toe down and the heel up. This may decrease your range of motion. That's okay. Still don't let those hips fall forward or backward. Maybe you get a little bit of cramp with this one. I certainly do. That's okay. Just kind of release it for a second, let it go away, and then bring it back to it. So the heel is trying to point up. The toe is trying to point down. Got a couple of these here. Nice. Alrighty, and then we're gonna combine it. So we're gonna start with that foot flat, point the toe up. It's gonna point up as we lift. When you get to the top, we're turning it under. You may need to lower a little bit as you turn it under, that's okay. And then point it down as we lower. So it's a lift with the toe open and a lower with the toe closed. So you can even kind of make it like a smooth range of motion, like you're making that nice oval with those toes or with those heels. Awesome. Whew. This is the part where I know I don't do enough of this in my regular workout routine. Whew. All right, we're gonna change it up. Same thing, opposite direction. Next time you bring that foot down, we're gonna start with the heel pointed up and the toe pointed down. We're gonna lift through that range of motion and then turn it over and lead. So we're leading with our heel this time. So same concept, same thing, but this time we're leading with the heel instead of the toes. Last one, and then that hip gets a break. Hip gets a break next. Nice, awesome work, you guys. Two more of those, two more, that's it. When you finish that one, go ahead and give yourself a break, let that top leg rest. Maybe it bends and comes forward and relieves that pressure on that glute. Maybe you take just a second there, give it a couple of hip circles. Whew. My hip just cracked like 4 times. Awesome. All right, we're bringing it over onto our back next. So go ahead and readjust if you need to for your angle a little bit. Bring it over onto your back. All right, we're gonna start with those knees up at that 90 degrees at tabletop. And let's just start with a little crunch. So go ahead, fingertips behind the ears, lifting up, crunching up, and then back down. A couple of these right here, we're just getting that upper core warmed up. Fabulous, fabulous. Keep it going just like that. Awesome. All right, two more crunches. That's it. Keep those knees at 90 when you finish those last 2 crunches. So head lowers down, knees are at 90. All right, awesome. Now I want you to take that left leg, take it out long. Our right knee is bent, almost like we're coming into a bicycle. However, we're just gonna do some single-sided oblique work here. The higher you take this left leg, the easier it'll be on that hip. The lower you take it, the more challenging it'll be. We're gonna do 2 movements towards this right leg. The first one is gonna keep our knee bent and our elbow bent. It's just gonna be right here, elbow to knee, so just like our half bicycle. We come back down to center, lengthen that leg, lift that fingertips towards the toes. So it's knee bend, elbow bend, and then both legs, or leg and arm long. So alternating there, bicycle crunch, and then that straight leg crunch. Trying to bring your left shoulder up off of that mat with each range of motion here. Again, if you need that little bit of pressure relief, lifting that long leg a little bit further off of the floor, we'll take a little pressure off the lower back. We're just here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and take a recovery wherever you need to be. Maybe knees in, maybe you just kind of flop down onto the floor. Maybe bend the knees, plant the feet, and give those hips a little bit of a break. Nice. All right, we're taking it back to those crunches. So same thing that we started with. Knees up to that 90, that tabletop, fingertips behind the ears, crunching it up. Little core work. Excellent. Keeping that lower back planted. It may press a little bit more into the floor as you crunch the head and shoulders up. We're still keeping that 10 as well size space between the chin and the chest. We're here for 4, 3, 2, 1. This time take that right leg long. That left knee stays bent. Again, the lower the right leg is, the more challenging. A little higher brings a little less pressure. Elbow to knee, and then straight arm to straight leg. Fingertips to toes. Elbow to knee, fingertips to toes. This time we're going towards that left leg with that right arm. Keep moving just like that. Nice, that single-sided work, looking good, looking good. Fabulous job, you guys. Again, we're working to bring that right shoulder up off of the floor. Every time we crunch up, we're here for just another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, take that recovery again. So maybe knees to chest, maybe that side to side. Maybe you just flop down. Awesome. A little more core work coming at us here. We've got a leg lower cycle. So we've got 2 directions here. We're going to do a little knee bent, 2 legs long. We're going to start with those legs up towards the ceiling. As always, for this positioning, you can have those arms out in that A-frame or under those hips for a little bit more support. We're going to start with our leg lower with our legs long. So bringing those feet down through your range of motion as low as you would like to go and as low as that lower back can support you. From here, instead of lifting, we're going to pull those knees in towards the chest. So lengthen, lower with the legs long. When you get to the bottom of your range of motion, pull those knees in, keeping it going just like that. And try and keep it slow and controlled. Add that little pause with those legs long and low, and then pull it in. Keeping that lower back nice and stable. So as always, a little natural curve in the lower back is okay. It doesn't need to be flat against the floor, but it should not be moving around as you lower the legs. If you get to here and it does start to lift, stop there. That's the edge of your range of motion, and pull the knees in from there. Keeping it moving right like that. We've got 10 more seconds here. 10 more seconds here. Nice. 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, take your recovery, whatever that may be. Choose one that works for you. Maybe the core needs a little bit of a break. Maybe the hips need a little bit of a break. Awesome. All right, now we're going to do the reverse of that. Like I said, we've got 2 directions. So we're going to start with our knees pulled in towards the chest this time. To get out long, we're going to extend those legs. So when you extend the legs, we're only going to that point where your lower back again starts to kind of give. So if with that leg lower, you got down to here and your lower back started to move, so you had to pull in. When you extend your legs, extend them up to that point as well. And then we're going to do a straight leg lift to the ceiling. Pull the knees in towards the chest, extend out long, and then lift. So here we go. Core front gets a nice break after this. We've got a glute move next, and then we're going back to that lower body. So knees starting towards the chest. They extend out long from there, and then they lift while they're long. Couple more seconds here. We're almost there, you guys. You're doing great. You're doing great. Lots of core work today. Fabulous. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent job, you guys. Take that little break. Take that recovery. Awesome. All right, bend those knees, plant those feet. Like I said, core front break, doesn't mean a break quite yet. Lift those hips up. You got that core back, that posterior chain. We're working all the way from those glutes, those hamstrings, up through the back, the lower back, the upper back. Place those fingertips or place those palms on the floor, pressing down. Keep those hips even. Take that right foot up towards the ceiling. All right, you can pause right here, or if you want more challenge, we've got a leg lower. So foot comes down towards the floor, keep those hips even, so as low as you can go with those hips even, and then lift. Couple seconds on this first side. If this doesn't work for you, maybe you keep that foot up, maybe you keep both feet planted and you keep it right here in that glute bridge. We're just here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you want to break, you can set those hips down. If not, right foot goes down, left foot comes up. Nice. If you took that break, bring those hips up, meet us here, and then add that leg lower if you'd like. Awesome, awesome. We're almost there, you guys. Nicely done on this side. We've got another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and set those hips down. Take that break. All right, fabulous. All we've got to do on the floor here is hit that other side of hip work. So you can just roll on over. I'm going to readjust so I'm still facing you guys by bringing it up and over. So that other hip is down. Again, that ear can rest on that bicep, or you can have that elbow down and that nice long spine, wherever you need to be. We're going to start with just that leg lower lift. So toes pulled in towards the shin. We're bringing it up through your range of motion. Keep those hips stacked, keep that core engaged, and then back down. Excellent, excellent. Working those muscles on the outside of the leg. Do you ever have inner knee pain? Maybe that IT band is a little bit tight. Maybe it's a little bit weak, depending on what your exercise was that you were doing when you found that inner knee pain. Those muscles cross over the knee and come to the inside. That's what we're working right now. Fabulous. Next time you bring that foot down, we're going to point that toe up and find that same lift. Awesome, awesome. So again, this may increase your range of motion a little bit, but just making sure that those hips are still stacked, making sure that that core is still engaged. You guys are doing great. Keep working with me here. Make it a great Wednesday. Awesome. Next time you bring that foot down, we're changing that range of motion. Heel points up this time. Heel points up this time. Awesome, awesome. Keep it going just like that, just like that. Keep moving. Fabulous work, you guys. All righty, we've got that rotation up next. So we're starting with the toe pointing up. It's going to go up while the toe points up. We lead with it as well to come down. So we're turning so the toe is up on the way up and down on the way down. A little rotation of the hip at the top of its range of motion. Trying to rotate the hip in its socket here. Keeping that leg nice and long. Excellent work. This side may feel tougher than the first one because we already worked that first side. You guys are doing great. We're almost there. One more of these. And then we're switching. Lead with the heel next. So heel leads up and then heel leads down. And this one, again, maybe a smaller range of motion, especially at the top. That's okay. Working your range. Ooh, my hip is starting to cramp. It's starting to work. You guys are doing great. We're almost there. Nice. Give me two more of these. Two more. And then go ahead and let it release and relax. Maybe it just rests on top. Maybe you let it knock to the front. Maybe you do those couple of little hip circles just to release it. Awesome. We've just got a baby bit of core work left, and then we'll do a little stretch, a little flow and stretch. So one more time, we're bringing it over onto our back. All right, abbreviated version of what we did before. We're gonna skip those crunches and we're gonna go right to that single-sided. So I want you to pull that right knee up to our 90 degrees. That left leg goes out long. Left elbow to left or to right knee, and then left fingertips to right toes. That alternating right here. Abbreviated version of all of this, a little quicker. Stick with me. Excellent job, excellent job. We're just on this side for another 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, take brief recovery, maybe both knees in. And then we're switching. Right leg out long, left knee at that 90, right elbow to left knee, and then right fingertips to left toes. Nice, awesome work, you guys. We get a nice stretch and flow on the way down here. So after this, we're going right into our stretching flow. Great job. We're just here for another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Little recovery. Awesome. Take those feet up towards the ceiling. All right, here we go. Straight leg lower. So down through your range of motion. When you get to the edge, little pause, and then pull those knees in. Again, those hands can certainly be under those hips if that helps you keep your lower back planted. Nice. Just 2 more circles in this direction. 2 more circles in this direction. And then that next time when you pull those knees in, I want you to go right into that opposite direction. Those knees are pulled in, extend them out long, and then lift. Nice. Super abbreviated. We're almost there. Great work. Great work. 2 more circles in this direction. Knees in towards the chest and extend. After that last one, take that little break, pull those knees in, maybe a little side to side. Awesome. All right, bend the knees, plant the feet. Arms out into that nice big T. Both knees to that right side, look over that left shoulder. Switch it up, same thing other side. Both knees to the left, look over that right.
Bring those knees back up to center. Pull them up off the ground to our tabletop. Same concept, both legs fall to that right side. You look over that left shoulder. Bring them up through center. Same thing other side. Both legs to the left, look
To the right. Here we go. Awesome. Up to center. Bend the knees, plant the feet one more time. One more spinal twist here. Cross that left ankle over that right knee. Send both legs down to the right side. Look over the left shoulder. Bring it up to center. Uncross that left ankle. Cross that right ankle over that left knee. Both legs to the left side. Look over the right shoulder. Keep that twist. Awesome. Bring it back into center. Uncross that ankle. Knees bent, feet planted. All right, we've got a couple options here. If it feels good on your hips to just kind of knock those knees to the side, bring the soles of the feet together, you can do that. If it feels good on your hips to pull it up and then do the same thing and grab the ankles, you can do that. If you love a happy baby, you can interlace those fingers in between that big toe, pull those knees in towards the armpits and find that little rock side to side. Any of those options or a similar thing to find that stretch is fabulous. So choose the one that works for you. Again, maybe it's a little rock side to side. Maybe we're pulling those feet in towards the chest. Maybe just letting those knees fall out to the side. 2 breaths here. Nice. Pull those knees in towards the chest. We're going to rock and roll it up and over. So give me a roll or 2 just to build that momentum. And then bring it on up to seated. And then we're bringing it over to hands and knees. So make your transition. If you'd like a sip, now is a perfect opportunity to grab a sip. I know we're not doing a lot of super high intensity work, but we did a lot of core work. We did a lot of hip work. My hips certainly are feeling. When you get to that hands and knees position, once you've finished your sip or your break, go ahead and take a couple cat and cows. Using that breath to flow with it. Inhale, belly towards the floor. Exhale, spine up towards the ceiling. Excellent. Let's take this to a down dog or a dolphin. So if the wrists aren't feeling it today, you can drop those elbows, curl those toes under and press it up. Or down dog, plant those hands, press those hips up and back. Either option is fabulous. Choose the one that works better for your upper body today. Maybe we pedal out those heels. Maybe we take a moment and just kind of press back into those shoulders. Excellent. Let's bring it down to a child's pose next. Knees wide, hips back towards the heels. And let's take it to our cobra next. Bringing it up and through. Knees can come under, hips come down towards the mat. Maybe those hands are planted. Maybe that spine isn't feeling it. So you bring that chest down a little bit further. Maybe let that head fall back a little bit. Maybe you keep it nice and neutral. Excellent. We're going to go back to that dolphin or that down dog. So if you're going into dolphin, you can bring it down to sphinx first and then press it up and over. Or if you're going to that down dog, just plant those hands, press those hips up and back. Nice. We're taking it into our low lunge next. So if you're in dolphin, it might be a little tough to make that transition. Make it work for you if you need to. Maybe briefly bring it up to those hands. We're going to take that right foot to our three-legged dog or three-legged dolphin. And then we're going to bend the left knee, sweep the right foot forward, place it down onto that mat. We're in our lunge, but I want you to keep your knee up just for a moment. So if those fingertips can comfortably reach the floor to the either side or maybe to the inside. If not, you can bring that pressure onto that knee if that torso needs to come up a little bit higher. I want you to kind of sink into that left hip flexor, that nice deep stretch. Awesome. Now go ahead and sink that left knee to the mat. Top of that left foot meets the mat. Now, again, those hands can come to either side. You can place those hands inside that knee. You can bring it down to those elbows if they reach. And if it feels good for your hip or for your knee, maybe let that right knee just come slightly away from your center line. Maybe you place that right hand gently on the inside of the knee. If that does not feel good, if that feels any kind of painful for you, don't do it. Keep that knee on your center line. Fabulous. And then we've got that hamstring stretch. So if you did let that knee come away from center, bring it back. Send those hips back. Lengthen that right leg. Lift those toes. Hinge forward the hips. Nice. Bring it back out to that kind of 3/4 of the way into our lunge. Curl the left toe under. Send the knee back up. And then we're just going to trade sides. So if you have a transition that you prefer to that three-legged dog, you can find it. Maybe drop those knees. If not, we're planting those hands. Three-legged dog with the right. Place it down next to the left. Three-legged dog with the left. Bend the right knee. Sweep it underneath. Place it down. Again, we're in that lunge with that right knee off the mat. Taking a moment, once again, if those fingertips can be down on the inside or to either side. If not, you can use that knee for a little support, sinking into that right hip flexor just a little bit. And then go ahead and gently place that right knee down, top of that right foot meets, sinking into this as well. Again, those hands can come to the inside of the knee. Maybe the elbows come down. Maybe that left knee comes away from our center line. Maybe this side feels different than the other side, and that is okay. And then we've got that hamstring stretch. So bring that knee back to a center line. If you took it away from it, sink those hips back, lengthen that left leg, lift those toes. Fabulous. Go ahead and shift it 3/4 of the way forward. Plant those hands, curl that right toe under, lift the knee. This time we're going to step forward instead of backwards. So send that right leg forward to meet the left in our forward fold. If you need any kind of readjustment, feel free to take it. As always, that forward fold is just sending those fingertips down towards the toes. Maybe you can let the head and neck and shoulders release and relax. Maybe find your ragdoll arms with those opposite hands to opposite elbows. Maybe you prefer just kind of a little halfway lift to keep the head a little bit more even with the heart. Maybe you've got a gentle bend in those knees because we didn't do a whole lot of hamstring stretching today. That is fabulous. Excellent. We're going to take 2 halfway lifts. With that next inhale, bring it halfway up. Find your flat back, your long spine. Activate that core here. Pull the belly button in towards the spine. Take a look at yourself if you have that camera on or a window or a mirror nearby. Make sure that spine is nice and long. And then exhale to round down into it. Back into that. Nice forward fold. Nice. One more time. Inhale to that halfway lift. Find that flat back, that long spine. Try and keep that neck nice and neutral if you can on this one. And fold into it. Awesome. Super slow. We're going to roll it up vertebrae by vertebrae. So I want you to start with those hips. When you get to that point where you can start to bring those hips right back underneath, right over top of those knees, find it. Keep those shoulders rounded until you get to the top of that spine. When you do get to the top of that spine, kind of pull them back into that good posture and then lift that head back up. Let's take those arms up overhead next as well. Nice big stretch towards the ceiling. Interlace those fingers, bring those hands down, press those palms forward, tuck the chin in towards the chest. Inhale brings us back up, palms towards the ceiling. That right hand comes down, that left arm comes up over top for our lateral stretch. Same as when we were seated, try and keep the chest open. Don't close it towards the floor. Inhale up through center, super long. Exhale, second side. Inhale up through center. Exhale, circle down and around. Maybe you interlace behind the back. Maybe you just press those palms towards each other. Either way, pull the shoulder blades together, open through the chest. Nice big exhale to release. Nice little easy spinal twist. Let that opposite heel release. Bringing it side to side. Nice, nice and easy. Bring it on back to center. Nice long spine, nice mountain pose. 2 deep breaths, leading with those arms. Inhale takes us out now. Exhale circles us down and around. On this one, those palms meet overhead. Inhale takes us out and up. Palms meet right up overhead. Exhale pulls the hands down to heart center. Thank you for practicing with me this lovely Wednesday afternoon. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, great rest of your week. The light in the honors, the light in you, bowing as we say. Namaste.